Regarding the buzz lately, it's tradition for us to highlight what's currently exploding across social media. Check out this scene. No digital scoreboards inside Glorietta, no official tracking the sidelines, and certainly no trophy ceremony awaiting under the bright lights. Still, the fervor surrounding Alex Eala's Manila appearance felt exactly like the nail-biting conclusion of a Grand Slam final. Filipino fans mobilized instantly, and enthusiasm went viral online. Securing a spot became the ultimate mission for everyone. Before Alex even stepped foot on stage, her local base had made their feelings clear. This wasn't just a casual meet and greet for an up-and-coming athlete. It was a triumphant homecoming for a national icon whose career path has transcended simple competitive tally. Globe revealed plans for an exclusive Alex Eala event scheduled for July 15th at Makati's Glorietta Activity Center, with check-in at 4 p.m. and the festivities set to kick off by 6 p.m. Organizers promptly declared that the event was fully booked. While we don't have a precise stopwatch to measure how quickly seats vanished, sheer intensity of the public scramble told the whole story. The demand was massive, highlighting why the specific moment, carried such weight. Alex didn't have to deliver a perfect ace to trigger an eruption from the crowd. She didn't need to save match points or survive grueling rallies. Simply returning home was enough. For years, local tennis enthusiasts followed her progress from afar, tracking her through midnight streams, mobile notifications, live stats, match highlights, and tense updates. They cheered on her successes from thousands of miles away, empathizing with every shift in momentum, every missed opportunity, and every milestone as she climbed towards the elite levels of the sport. Now, rather than viewing her through a distant screen, fans were finally in her presence. That dynamic shifts the entire atmosphere. On paper, an athlete's fan event might seem standard: show up, field questions, pose for a few photos, and express gratitude to those attending. But this assembly represented years of unwavering support. Most of those jostling for entry weren't just chasing a celebrity, they were loyal followers of a young woman who redefined Philippine tennis, bringing new visibility and fresh inspiration to the country. Many were introduced to the sport because of her, while others started following the WTA specifically to keep up with her progress. Countless juniors took up rackets inspired by a Filipina, holding her own with grit and confidence against seasoned global competitors. For these die-hard fans, the Glorietta gathering was more than just seeing Alex in the flesh. It was a collective way to say, "We were with you through the grind, the challenges, and every moment of pressure. And we're sticking around." This record-breaking attendance proves something vital. Alex Eala has evolved past being viewed as just a promising prospect. She has blossomed into a legitimate star who can energize a massive audience before a single shot is fired. Her incredible Wimbledon performance brought even more intensity to her return. Eala reached the round of 16 by toppling the reigning champion Iga Swiatek, capping off a grass-court season that also featured a WTA 125 title in Birmingham and a semi-finals trip in Berlin. Such milestones placed Philippine tennis firmly on the global map and provided local fans with a journey they could share together. However, cold data points cannot fully articulate the sentiment. Rankings fail to display families cheering from their homes, and tournament stats don't reflect the messages shared between kababayan across the globe. A sports headline misses the pride of overseas workers checking in during work breaks, students refreshing scores in school, or parents teaching their children why Alex's path is so significant. This deep bond is exactly why the fan event was packed before it officially started. When Alex competes abroad, she often enters the arena as one solitary figure against another. Tennis is inherently solitary in that regard. There are no teammates to lean on when the heat is on, and no reserves to tag in if morale begins to waver. Every call rests with her. Where to direct her serve, when to play aggressively, when to hold back, and how she recovers from a tough error. While the crowd cheers, once the point begins, Alex has to navigate the tactical maze alone. That is why occasions like the Glorietta meet matter so much to a professional. They serve as a reminder that though tennis is a solo pursuit, her path is truly a collective effort. Behind her are kin in Manila, dedicated followers throughout the provinces, aspiring young players, and kababayan worldwide. They cannot return a volley for her, nor can they sway the ball's movement, but they offer something equally powerful: the certainty that millions are deeply invested in her every match. Such support can be incredibly motivating, yet it naturally introduces scrutiny. Growing crowds lead to escalating expectations. Once a rising star shocks the sporting establishment, everyone celebrates the initial feat. Afterward, the narrative shifts entirely. People clamor for the next title. Scouts analyze every flaw, and rival prepare much more intensely. A newcomer no longer flies under the radar. The challenge for Alex is no longer just displaying one headline-making performance. It is about establishing lasting excellence against a seasoned WTA tour. Athletes who are sharp and possess great physical power. Using her left-handed style grants her unique tactical edges. The distinct trajectory of her deliveries drags rivals wide, particularly when serving from the advantage side. Her aggressive returning stops those serving from finding a rhythm. By crowding the net and hitting the ball on the rise, she dictates the pace instead of reacting to others. Refining her court coverage is equally vital. Grass surfaces demand swift reflexes since the ball stays low, causing rapid shifts in momentum. On hard courts, while the bounce is more consistent, she faces defenders capable of grinding and forcing her to build points methodically. Alex's future success hinges on striking a balance between raw power and calculated restraint. She shouldn't just blast away for highlights to please the bleachers. Discernment is key, she must know. Exactly when to push, when to hit deep to reset, and how to leverage her southpaw angles to find openings. Serving accuracy is non-negotiable. Her follow-up shot must be precise. Staying composed after a squandered chance is a critical skill. At the elite level, the line between triumph and defeat is often paper-thin. It comes down to a single panicked call, one sloppy service game, or losing faith in her tactical strategy. While the roar of the crowd can bolster Alex, she requires absolute clarity when she steps back onto the WTA circuit. That stark shift makes this fan engagement event even more significant. Within the retail space, the vibe is welcoming. They've gathered because they value her personal odyssey. They are here to cheer, celebrate, and boost her morale before she travels. Meanwhile, on the Pro Tour, nobody will yield an inch. Rivals will come prepared with detailed scouting reports. Some will target her second serve. Others will prolong rallies to challenge her stamina. Some might rush her by taking the ball early. Stumbles are inevitable. There will be bouts where her timing is off. There will be events where hype outpaces actual performance. Yet, the worth of her journey remains unchanged. It just elevates the importance of their support. Loyal followers don't just appear during trophy ceremonies. They stick around through the grinding training blocks, the grueling transit, and the matches that expose her remaining weaknesses. The capacity crowd shows that her Philippine supporters are committed to more than just a fleeting scoreline. They are devoted to the entire climb. Perhaps the most inspired figures in that group are the rising athlete. Looking at Alex and envisioning a life once thought unattainable. They may not all go pro. They might never play at Wimbledon, but her narrative still holds lessons. It teaches them that athletes from the Philippines deserve a place in global dialogues. They will discover that the path to growth is rarely linear. They can grasp that true confidence isn't the absence of stress. It is the grit to perform in spite of it, and they will learn that representing a nation is more than just donning a uniform. It involves giving people hope to believe that their humble origins do not dictate their ultimate potential. Alex's influence on the sport in the Philippines may soon outweigh any single medal or award. A skilled player garners eyes, but a generational icon transforms the game's reach. More youngsters will start hitting balls, more parents will weigh the merits of investing in tennis. Seriously, regional tournaments will gain traction. More commercial entities may find merit in backing the discipline. A single fan gathering won't construct an entire professional infrastructure, but it highlights latent demand. It demonstrates a hungry audience. They are set to cheer. They are eager to support. Once a country begins to truly embrace a sport, fresh horizons emerge. That is why the atmosphere at Glorietta was unique. The assembly wasn't merely welcoming Alex home after another tournament run. It marked the dawn of a new age for Filipino tennis. For Alex, the hurdle will be embracing that adoration without letting the weight of expectation bury her. She must realize that the applause isn't a demand for perfection. It is an acknowledgement of the bravery required to compete, evolve, and step back onto the court under increasingly intense scrutiny. She doesn't need to conquer every rival to remain an inspiration. She must simply stay dedicated to her craft. The pro circuit keeps spinning. Fresh competitors will rise. Court surfaces will vary. The stakes will fluctuate. There will be highs of certainty and troughs where answers prove elusive. But having witnessed how swiftly Filipino supporters rallied to greet her, Alex can approach her future tours, holding on to one vital realization: the entire nation is watching, and more importantly, they have her back. Not every enthusiast could squeeze into Glorietta. Entry wasn't possible for everyone. Many had to track the event digitally or celebrate from afar. Yet, that frustration only underscores the magnitude of the movement. The building had finite room. The backing did not. That is the real narrative behind the packed venue. It was never about sheer occupancy. It was about human connection. Alex Eala spent the formative years of her career proving her worth on the global circuit through results. At Glorietta, no introduction was necessary. The crowd already recognized her. They respected what she had survived. They valued her hard-won milestones. Above all, they were committed to being part of her journey forward. The next chapter will not be defined in a retail plaza. It will be forged on training courts and during grueling rallies, amidst grueling service points and those hushed intervals where Alex faces the internal struggle between self-doubt and faith in her training. Yet the echoes of Manila remain with her. As she steps into yet another global arena and squares off against her rival, she holds onto the memory of supporters cheering from thousands of miles distant, people who packed every seat, a throng driven by passion, supporters who transformed a simple meetup into a brilliant, historic national display. This wasn't merely a victory parade, it carried a deeper, more intimate weight. It was the nation conveying to Alex Eala, "You gave us hope." Now, it seems Alex's primary goal is to demonstrate to those loyalists exactly how high that faith can soar. How do you interpret this massive outpouring of affection for Alex Eala and the path ahead for tennis in the Philippines? Might this surge of enthusiasm act as a catalyst for a new wave of talented Filipino athletes? Leave a comment below with your perspectives and your expectations for her upcoming WTA appearances. To stay informed on Alex Eala's career, heart-tugging sports narratives, match breakdowns, and ongoing news regarding Filipino competitors worldwide, please hit like, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon to stay updated on our latest content.